Hey guys, so I just made a video explaining our plans to bring permaculture volunteers to help us with this next year. These are our maize fields and we will be eating from here for the next year. It's harvest time and there are people all over this place at the moment, but you have a very big task when you harvest maize, because this is where the maize lives and you take that out. Then you throw it into piles on the floor, and then you have to sack it and put it in a bag so it can be transported. Then after that we have to let it dry. Then we traditionally you can either put it in sacks and hit it with tree branches, thick ones, like using like a club method, to separate the kernels from the maize cob itself. Or there are now machines where you can do it as well, and we tend to use the machine because it's much faster and it does a more efficient job. So, but I have used the traditional method the first few years I was here when we didn't have much, because it was just cheaper that way and we had the time to do it. But now with so much, you use the machine. So someone brings a machine, they pull it up to your place, and then we just do it on site. Then from there you can grind it down into flour, or you can cook it as it is and combine it with beans, and you get a complete amino acid chain. And the problem you have here is that most people can't afford the beans. So this is why I want to bring permaculture volunteers, so as next year in January when we are sowing, our permaculture volunteers can come and they can sow. Such a funny plant, things it leaves behind. We can sow our Three Sisters method. This year we didn't manage to get all of our land done with Three Sisters, so that means that beans grow up the maize, so you get a double whammy, because the maize supports the beans as like a climbing wall, if you will. And then we use squash to create a living mulch which traps moisture into the soil. This is how the Hopi Indians used to do it. But that's not why I'm making this video. This video is to say thank you to everybody who shares with us, because of you guys and because of the grace of God and the wonderful weather and the rain that we've had this year. We've got a really spectacular harvest compared to last year, so we've got plenty to eat, and this will provide for all of us at Featherstail, Angels Gate, and even some plenty more to be delivered into the community for the elderly and some of the children in the children's fund who are in dire need, children who have been in child labour and stuff like this. So this miraculous plant, who has tackled the droughts and the heavy rains and the beating sun, is owed a great deal of thanks and gratitude, because this wonderful, wonderful plant will fuel the expression of life in hundreds, perhaps thousands at this point, of people here over the next year. And as far as you can see, this is all ours. I totally get the point of why tribes of old used to have such a connection, and African people as well still, with nature, because it's such an amazing feeling compared to heading to your supermarket, to the freezing cold section and picking up your fresh produce, to grow it, to harvest it, to see it from being a little baby to being a big thumping adult like these plants are. You connect with them, you almost feel proud of them, you are proud of them, so, and grateful. And it just reminds you of the connective organism that we belong to. So, of the connective organism that we belong to. Scared of being on the video. You know, because of the weather being good, we will be stronger this year because we get more food. And we get more food because this soil has a correct balance of nutrients and minerals, and this plant fought with all it could without asking questions, without childish thoughts of is this right or is this wrong, to just reach as high as it could and create it by itself a food source for sentient life. It's really rather amazing when you think about it. So. I know. I did my maze video earlier, but as you can see, it's a different time of night. And we are in the middle of the fields. It's been more than a 12-hour day for everyone, but we have our truck of maize. Hold on. Yes?
I have a labor. Because I want to walk up here. Hey, Mama Julien!
We still haven't been able to put all of the maize in the truck, so 2 of our warriors need to stay tonight to protect the maize. So fortunately, there are thieves everywhere. So all over the planet, not everywhere here, I mean.
Mwenzi. Sasa hivi. Ndio. Sawa. This baby has a sunflower. I see. So is a security for bodaboda there?
I'm not a teaser. Mimi naongea Kiswahili kidogo.
Vizuri. Atakapofika jamani. Sasa sikuwa sikuwa wapi mama nani na wewe. Nasema naenda kupiga.
This is our rented property that we rented to be a volunteer house, and within a few weeks of that happening we ended up with filling it with children and single mothers who were homeless on the street, pregnant 2 of them who have now give birth and work for us. So it's still used by the children, but Emmanuel, it has this here which we are making use of, which is just a storage area because we have no space at Featherstail and it's inside the compound, so we keep it safe here. So. So guys, it's 10 o'clock at night, and in the interest of saving the life of this tree, which they were about to cut down, I said, no, tip it outside and we'll bring it in. But I've had to call Roger and Isaac, the Maasai, because it's going to take us all night bringing it in by hand by ourselves. So I just thought to tell you and get back to work. I sweat on. Good gym this. You might see from the sweat that we are done. So problem was they tried to tip the maize outside, and there's a tree in the way of the gate and I won't let them cut it down, so I said tip it outside and we'll bring it in. But thankfully Santini. Santini. Some of the young guys were watching outside and they joined in, so we end up with 7 extra manpower. So cost me a sword, no doubt, but sawa, okay.
She needs uniform, yeah?
Yeah, sawa. Yes,
Chare. For sare bado.
Sawa. Sawa. Okay, sawa. Just We're just being told who needs some school uniforms down at the other children's home. And they've missed us a lot down here. This is Zena from like my 3rd video, so very close with these two. So who's crying? Bully! Wanyama's beating her sister.
Nani?
The joys of being married, you get blisters. From hard work.
Baba.
Baba, mimi ni baba. Sema baba. Sema baba.
Ameona Ima, kashaona. Nimeona mahindi ni mengi nimeona. Mengi. Mingi sana
Ali.
Mingi sana.
So this will feed, among others, this lot. Kula nyingi.
Unamjua?
This little lady here and her brother have both missed me a lot. So it's some of the first children I ever helped here. The cuteness award obviously goes to this little lady. Yes. See, some mambo. We might not have much in our very peculiar family, but we are happy. So.
Always have to test with them whether you still have your necklaces and stuff.
That's true. So, Fitty was just saying we always have to check if we have our bracelets and necklaces because little hands like to keep them in their pockets. So, it's been the end of a very long day. Yeah. It's time for us to go. We haven't eaten even today yet. So, oh, they've stolen the bobble out of my hair.
I know they gave it back to me.
Oh, did they? Oh, very sweet. So, okay, from me and my beautiful now wife, I want to say good night and we love you all and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye. A long time ago, we called these two young men to come and help us move the full truck of maize from outside to inside, and we're leaving and they just arrived.
As for me and my house, we'll serve you, Lord, lifting holy hands and worship. No, we will not bow down to the gods of